Hey guys, what's going on? Matthew or MP Bricks here, and today we're going to be taking a look at set number 70004, Wax's Pack Tracker. Now this set was released way back in 2013 with 297 pieces, 3 minifigures, and it retailed for $29.99 in the United States. But with all that said, let's get on to this review. So of course, starting off with the main build, the Pack Tracker itself. This is the only build in the set, and this thing, I'm probably a little biased about it because I had this one back in the day and I loved it so much. I really like this set, but this thing, just look at it. I mean, just for how much you're getting here, $30 seems fantastic. I love this thing. I love that it's a fantastic looking villain vehicle. But enough about that, let's actually dive in and analyze this thing. Starting off with these wheels, they are the plastic ones, which I never loved, but on this they seem to work, just the way they did the construction within here for this one. The wheels definitely seem to work for me. Definitely better than other sets with plastic wheels, because you can definitely get to that point where you can see they do slide. But there's a feature that I understand. If you push it down like that, yeah, it makes sense. And then here you've got some nice flames. I like this piece in the dark red there, the little jet engine, I guess, or something like that. You've got the nice formation of the wolf head here, which looks fantastic. You've got some teeth there. You've even got the red inside of the mouth. You've got, it kind of looks like he's growling because it goes up and then down. So he's like showing his back teeth right there, which looks fantastic. You've got his nose right here. You have a functioning mouth, which actually, if you roll this guy and you don't press down on the head, it will actually close and open the mouth. So I don't know if I can really show it well there. There's a little thing that, as you roll it, this little thing pushes it up and then back down. So that's a really cool function, how that works. And you can even try and get a minifigure stuck in there. I don't know about the eagle that comes in this set with the big wings, is kind of tough. But anyone else could really work super well. So, and then it does stop the front wheels, which isn't great. However, it does keep them trapped in there. So that's kind of cool. However, a really cool and intimidating feature for sure. I love how that one looks. You do have some exposed Technic down here, which I don't love, but for the time made sense. They didn't really cover it up much back in 2013, so I completely understand that. You even have these cute little ears back here, which are fantastic. You can make them like, as they're running away, you can have them down, or going into battle like that, so that's really cool. Then you've got these big eyebrows that you can hinge off. Clearly one is looser than the other for me. But then you can take Wakz here and we'll remove his weapon. He can actually fit in with his weapon, which is great. And then you can place him down there, which is awesome to see. And you might actually run into the problem of he does sit on 4 studs, so nope, he was decent there. But that is the point where their legs can come off, and you even saw when I was grabbing on his armor piece, his head started coming off. So that is something to be aware of. That is very common for the time. I'm not going to down it for that because that's just how they did it. But that is something to be aware of if you're looking to buy this set. Then in the back here, you've got this huge gun piece, which I'm actually not sure where the bolt is right now. Okay, so accidentally shot it there, my bad. But here you've got this nice posable gun. You've got the big ball joint there, which is fantastic. You can turn this thing all the way around, have a minifigure stand right there, and shoot all around there. And all you have to do is pull back on this piece right here, and it shoots. So, great little thing. I love these so much. They were so much fun. Especially when we get spring-loaded shooters, these are so much better. The spring-loaded shooters are such a downgrade. Then up here, we have this flag, which is kind of hard to see in the lighting, but it's got this nice symbol. I think that was actually the symbol used for all the villains, all the tribes that worked together as villains in the first wave, so that was pretty fun there. And then in the back, you've got these nice railings, which look fantastic. I love the dark red click hinge pieces. Those are awesome. Nothing super specific there. They're just really cool. And then you've actually got space to load your troops. If you had other wolves from other sets, you could fit quite a few of them in here. You know, like 4 wolves maybe if you remove the big blaster, but that's pretty darn cool to be able to have some troops riding along. And then of course some maybe fit enough to walk. And then back here you've got this nice Technic structure. I love these pieces as well. Those are so cool. And then you've got 2 little claw pieces on this chain, and then you can actually shoot it out. This always reminded me of when Samukai captured Nia in Jago, so that was always what I used it for. And this isn't really gonna grab a figure, but you can act like it is, and there's always imagination there, which is a lot of fun. However, it's just got a nice little spot right here where it can slip in. If I can get it right, it will slip in. It can go between there and then there. Okay. And then all you have to do after that is reel it up, which I guess you have to reel it up before because it's going to get in the way. Sorry, guys. It's been quite a while since I've actually had this thing together. But I'm happy to have this thing back together. This is a cool set. Back here, I feel like there's a bit of wasted space because what I always did with it, I built a contraption up here that had claws that actually held on to a speedor that they could launch out of here. And I always thought that was awesome and they should have done that. Now, there was actually only ever one set that included a speedor within it, even though it wasn't exactly a speedor's set. It wasn't on that card back. So I understand why that wasn't included here. However, I still think it would have been sick and definitely worth the customization. I think I'll make a YouTube short how to do that. But overall, a fantastic build. It's compact in a way, but also feels spacious. So I don't know really how to frame that, but this thing is amazing. I love this set. I understand why I liked it as a kid. It's such a cool model, especially with the troop bay is awesome. And just all the functions on this thing is fantastic. But now let's take a look at the minifigures and then I can tell you my overall thoughts on this set as a whole. So here are the first 2 minifigures included in this set, and of course we've got to have some wolves in here. First up we've got Wakz, and then we have Windsor. So Wakz here is a really cool looking minifigure. I always thought of him as like the elder of the tribe. So first up you've got a Kragger blade there with the red lightsaber blade, just one side, which is alright. You can see he does look like an older guy. He's kind of got a sagging mouth and everything. He definitely looks older, especially when you look there. He almost looks like a cat, if you think about it, like a grumpy cat almost. And then around back, he's kind of afraid. However, I never loved that these faces, like, now he just looks like a crazy old wolf man. Like, that doesn't really make him look afraid because his mouth is still in the same thing. So, I didn't love that, especially when this guy's included in 2 sets. Maybe even 3, I can't remember. But he was definitely in this and his speedor, so maybe do a face for both. At least, like, change up the printing on this so that you get both sides so that you can use that however you'd like. I don't know, that would have made the collecting a lot cooler. But overall, I do like how they managed to do it. But, you know, could have been better. Everything can be better. And then the dark red torso looks fantastic. He's got some nice silver design there with his chi port. And of course, he's got that nice silver armor piece. I loved these back in the day. They were so cool. However, they did cover up a ton of the torso print, which I didn't love because I actually really, really like these figures and how they look. So that wasn't great, but it wasn't the end of the world. And then back here, I believe this is actually supposed to be a tail for him, which is a decent representation, but, you know, it's not an actual tail. However, they didn't have actual tails sticking off of them in the show, so I'm not going to count it off for that. I'm sure this was his back print in the show. I can't remember, but overall, a great looking minifigure. I love the legs as well. Super detailed here. Super duper detailed. I love all the fur work, and then the claws on the feet as well. Those look fantastic. So yeah, great minifigure to be included. Of course, you've got to have Wakz when it's Wax's pack tracker. So a great minifigure for sure. And then looking at Windsor. This guy is crazy looking. He is scary. He's first off got this berserker orc sword, and then looking closer at him, he's got his chi port there. He's all buffed up. He's got some battle scars. Look at his eye. One eye is completely scratched out. He can't even use it anymore. He's got a really wide mouth on the face here, and they did pretty well with this actually. You can see Wax's was pretty thin. It was just on the snout there, but his goes way back there, so that's pretty cool. He's also not shaved in a while. He's got a bit of a stubble there. I know it doesn't make sense for wolves, but it's kind of funny. And then around back, he is very, very angry, which I honestly wish was depicted on this figure a little better. He looks all right with it like this, but he's not like full-on angry. Yeah, he's definitely more like this one. So yeah, great minifigure. I love the leg detail as well here. He's got a little, what I would assume is his tail there. It looks more like a keychain to me, but I don't know why they would have keychains of a wolf's tail if they are wolves. And then just some basic back printing there, which makes sense. So yeah, two great minifigures. Of course, you've got to have some nice wolves in here, and they're definitely really, really good ones. So let's get on to the final figure included in this set, and then I can tell you my overall thoughts. The final minifigure included in this set is Aquila here, and this one definitely isn't my favorite because I'll let you know. It's a good figure overall. It's not a bad figure, some great detailing. I definitely like the inclusion of the gold here and the medium blue on the torso, and head doesn't look bad either. And then, of course, the standard eagle wings attached to that armor piece. All of that makes sense. However, this minifigure is almost a complete reuse from another set. I didn't love how they did the eagles because this minifigure, if you turn the head around and put just a slightly different headpiece on it, it just doesn't have the black around the eyes, then it's a different character. Or at least I think that's what they meant it to be. Yes, this minifigure with the black eyes on its headpiece and the glasses or the goggles around back is supposed to be Aquila. And then if you turn it around this way, this minifigure with a slightly different headpiece is supposed to be Eeyore. So two completely different eagle minifigures sharing the exact same torso, legs, and headpiece, just flipped around with a different molded headpiece. So I didn't love that. So it's not exactly my favorite figure, and it's also pretty common because of that fact. But there's some nice detailing. Of course, the medium blue is very, very nice. I like the gold, of course. But it's definitely not one of my favorites because it's not a unique one. This did, however, mean that we got more eagles than we got almost anything else, at least in the normal form, because, you know, you got two minifigures in one here, so you could make two of these, and then you could also do your standard amount of the other ones because you've got other named characters to cover as well. So that was kind of cool, but I didn't love this minifigure because it was so common. I have so many of them. But I figured I would still share that. It's still a good minifigure, but I didn't love it. So definitely not my favorite part of this set, but overall, not a bad one still. So now let's get on to my overall thoughts on this set as a whole. So what are my overall thoughts on this set as a whole? Personally, I really, really like this set. And all biases aside, so many people have recommended this set and said that it's an amazing Chima set, and it is. It's such a good set. If you're thinking about picking one of these up, I know it can range from $40 to $50 now. That's fantastic. I love that price point. You can still, and that's sealed. That's for a sealed copy. You can still go in, open the bags. All of this is going to be in great condition. That is a fantastic deal. This is an amazing set, and I love it, love it, love it. It's such a good set. I can totally recommend this one. And that's all biases aside. I love this because I grew up with it as well. This is an amazing set. That's really all I have to say. I just can't put it into words. This is such a good set. But please, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I am starting to do a lot more Chima stuff in the near future. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.